am absolutely thrilled that you are here today because I am talking about one of the most exciting topics to me. This is Reiki. So today's video is going to be about Reiki, what it means, what it is, how it works, and if you are interested in taking a class from anybody that is local to you, what you can expect at each level. And I cannot wait to share this information with you. So if you are already interested in this, please like and subscribe below. I love and appreciate your support. So let's first start off with what Reiki means. Reiki means universal energy, and it's very important to understand before I say anything else that Reiki is a type of energy work. And energy work means that we are focusing healing for somebody that needs it, either physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Energy work is a broad umbrella term that just means a healing of sorts, right? But there are many types of energy work. Reiki is one, but there is all kinds of things, which I have also studied, like craniosacral, pranic healing, healing touch, sound therapy, all chakra balancing, you name it, okay? So for those of you who do not know, I am a Reiki Master. I have been practicing Reiki for about 15 years. I absolutely love it. Although I have learned many types of energy work and modalities, Reiki was the one that really rang true to me. It worked the best for me. I just fell in love with it. And it was kind of like my gateway energy work modality that really triggered me to learn so much more and dive way deep into all of the things that I love, cherish, and practice now as a professional. So first of all, Reiki means universal energy. Now it is from Japan or Tibet, and it was rediscovered by a man named Dr. Mikosa Yusi. Now, we say rediscovered because energy cannot be created or destroyed, it just changes form. And so there is a lot of history that goes into how he learned it and then how he has shared it and eventually it becoming something that's more widely known or heard of or practiced, right? And I would urge you to understand the history, and when you do take classes, they will share the history with you because that is also very important. But for today, I really just want you to understand what the heck it is and why it's so amazing. So during a Reiki session, I'm going to explain what you can experience. So again, it's for healing of any kind that you may need. So your Reiki practitioner will place their hands on or above your body in particular areas, usually following the same areas of the chakras, although that is from Ayurvedic medicine. They're very similar, traditional Chinese medicine, Bush medicine, Buddhist philosophies, Ayurvedic, they all have a lot of similarities when it boils down to it. And so the hand placements that they're going to put their hands while they're doing energy work for you is very similar to the chakras. Now, it's usually done quiet. I usually start off with a little bit of a guided meditation. It helps me focus. It gets my client to not be so in their head, and that way I can focus on what I'm doing. And it can be any length of time from 30 minutes to an hour or what have you. And at the end, your Reiki Master will typically share anything that maybe was relevant to them, popped up during the session, anything that they thought or felt or experienced. Most people don't feel a whole lot when they are themselves the client. Unless you are very sensitive. When I do have clients that are sensitive, they will tell me that they maybe see little like lights like tracing around. They'll have random thoughts or ideas that pop into them that are kind of aha moments. They'll feel like they're floating. They'll feel warm, or they'll feel my hands in a certain area that are very warm, although eventually I moved to another area on their body and they didn't realize that I had moved. They felt the heat from my hands already still there. So those are some things, but I never tell my clients those things because I don't want them to expect those things and then be disappointed if they didn't experience those things. It doesn't mean that it didn't work, okay? It's just, you know, whether the person's sensitive enough to the energy or not. It still works. All right, so that's kind of what you can experience during a Reiki session, okay? Now, as far as learning Reiki, there are 3 levels of Reiki. So we're gonna start with the first level of Reiki. Reiki 1 is specifically for you to learn hands-on healing. That literally means that you are going to be working one-on-one, face-to-face with a person, either with your hands above or on their body. And what you're gonna be learning in the Reiki class is basically each of the hand positions where you're going to set your hands. You're going to learn the history of Reiki. You're going to get a demonstration usually of how it works so you can see. and you're going to be practicing on each other, so you're actually going to receive Reiki as well. You will also be given a symbol. Now this symbol is called the chakra. This symbol is to kickstart the energy. It's to turn it on, we'll say, or increase the power or the energy of whatever it is that you're doing. So this is a great symbol to always start off with a Reiki session. Or when I'm over a particular area, like a wound of sorts, and I need a little bit more energy focused in that spot, I will also do it at that time. This is mainly, again, for physical healing of the physical body. Now, during a Reiki 1 session and all of these sessions, during a Reiki 1 class and all of the classes, you will get a step-by-step how to do, you will get a symbol, and you will also get an attunement. So let me explain what an attunement is. An attunement is a very powerful, sacred, and ancient practice where a master or teacher will essentially pour the energy or the essence or the wisdom of this practice into the student. And so the Reiki Master has their own symbols that help to open up the crown chakra. They will then pour some of this ancient knowledge into your aura, which then helps your body to absorb and shift over time. You will feel sensations during the attunement, but these may last for months or even up to a year as the student shifts to a higher level of frequency or vibration, becoming more in line with a more healthy human, a more healthy self, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So therefore, they are a vessel to provide healing for other people, okay? So the attunement is really to help widen or open that channel that we use to pull the universal energy in and then share it with another. So it is a very sacred and powerful experience and powerful thing to share with a student. I think sharing knowledge to that degree where you are sharing that level of power, we'll say, and I use that word in a very positive way, is an act of compassion and love and appreciation and respect that you want to see somebody understand this practice to such a level that they now not only receive the healing energy, but they are learning how to do it for themselves and other people. That is absolutely beautiful, right? And so it's a very sacred practice. Now, I'd also like to explain that anybody and everybody can give or receive energy or Reiki. A plant and animal can even an inanimate object can receive Reiki. This is because we are all made up of atoms. The smallest little molecular kind of setup we've got is an atom with protons, neutrons, and electrons that all vibrate at a certain frequency. This means at our very core, we are essentially energy grid patterns, even an inanimate object, which means that we are energy. Everything is energy, okay? So yes, that means that anyone can receive or give energy. All right, so one other thing I'd really like to stress here is that I and no other Reiki Master, medium, light worker, energy worker, whatever title you go with, is not magical. We are not, in fact, doing the healing at all, which is shocking when you understand this, right? What we do is raise our vibration. We pull in the beautiful, endless amount of universal energy that is available. We channel that through ourselves and then deliver that to the person, plant, animal, thing, doesn't matter, to receive it. The client has to, one, want to heal. They have to receive the energy. Then, this is why I call it like a 10% me, 90% them. They have to take the actions and measures to heal, right? They have to want to do this, right? So it is their body. Your body is fully capable of healing itself. You grow new bone with a cast on your leg within weeks. You are very capable of overcoming almost any physical viral ailment, right? If the body is in a state of homeostasis, which means a body that is in balance internally and externally, and that is what energy work is doing. We are focusing on getting the body back to center and back to balance so that it can do its freaking job, which is to provide a vessel for you to be centered and at peace and grounded and healthy, right? So I am not magical. I do not heal anybody. They do their own healing. They do it themselves, right? I just provide, I brought the horse to the water. I provide the environment. I give suggestions. I let them experience a higher vibration because they're feeling it from me. All of these things are little seeds, and eventually they will start to want to have a healthier lifestyle and practices and a better understanding of the simple fact that they can be healthy, which is incredibly empowering. So the gift of energy work is the gift of showing somebody their divinity. It's showing them that they are light, that they are fully capable of creating health and wellness inside and outside of their body. That is why it is so amazing to receive or be a energy worker, a light worker, a healer, a Reiki master, a medium. I don't care what the title is. It's amazing and you should totally experience it, right? Okay, so that being understood now, let's talk about Reiki level 2. So if you're going to take the next level in Reiki, it would be for two main reasons. We first learned a symbol to understand how to help somebody's physical body. Now we are going to understand how to help somebody's mental and emotional state, right? Because all of these things are very valuable and need to be balanced, right? Mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical are all equals, and they need to be kept in a state of homeostasis or balance. So you will also, again, learn the symbols that go along with the Reiki level 2. The Seiheki symbol is for the emotional healing, and this is also for protection, because the very next symbol you're going to be learning, which is Hanshoze Shonen, this symbol is for distance Reiki, meaning that you no longer have to have a person physically with you to do the healing practice, right? Now, this may be a little difficult concept for some of you, but if you have been following any of my videos, you know already probably what I'm about to explain here. So I'm going to cut away for just a second of specifically talking about Reiki so that I can explain distance healing and how that even works. So I just said earlier that we are all made up of atoms, and atoms are a frequency or vibration. And a frequency or energy or vibration or light does not necessarily adhere to the limitations of time and space. So what I literally mean is you can send energy like radio waves, like microwaves, energy, you can send a frequency or vibration through time across to somebody that is literally not with you. They don't have to be in the same room. They don't even have to be in the same country, okay? So that means that you are sending healing energy to somebody that is somewhere else in another location. And yes, this is physics. This is what I'm talking about. I've mentioned this many times in other videos. We are literally talking about healing through time. We are going through space and time to work on somebody. This is why the Seiheki symbol is very important. Not only is it for emotional, but it's for a little bit of protection. And I don't mean that to at all bring up any kind of fear-based things, because you are very well protected, but it's so that you have the understanding of what you're doing and the focus of what you're doing, right? So you will learn those two symbols. You will also learn the step-by-steps on how to actually do a distance Reiki session. Now, everybody's interpretation of Reiki, just like a recipe, if I were to teach you how I make vegetable soup, you may throw in a couple different vegetables, you may take in or out something, add more spices. Everybody tweaks it a little bit to their liking. So you're going to see some variations between masters and teachers that'll show you a few different things. When I personally do a distance Reiki session, I like to use stones, crystals, and pendulums. This is a visual aid for me. This is not a part of Reiki. This is my preference. And the reason why is because crystals and stones have a unique vibration or frequency that is stable. We have thoughts and emotions, which means we release chemicals, and we are shifting the energy of our atoms constantly, which means our energy shifts and fluctuates constantly. But a crystal or a stone has a set crystalline frequency of vibration that is basically set. And so that energy is very grounding and very still. And so I like to set up some crystals when I'm doing a distance energy session because the person isn't in front of me. And so I'll use the pendulum shortly to just kind of run through their chakras to kind of give me a brief idea of which areas I'm going to need to focus in on the most. I then will set my hands just like Reiki level 1. I will set my hands down on those same spots on like a little pretend body, like a pillow. And I will also use the stability of my stones to kind of anchor in some of the frequency. Because again, remember, we're taking somebody's energy that's all over the place and bringing it back to center and grounding them and having them come to a state of more of a homeostasis balance, right? So that's how I do that. That is not taught necessarily in Reiki. That is a preference of mine, okay? So what you're really learning in Reiki is basically just how to send that energy. And I can do it whether I have stones or a pendulum or not, right? Which is the beauty, because you should be able to do it, without any tools. Tools help, but you should still be able to know how to do it, right? So that is essentially Reiki 2. Now Reiki 3 is the master level where you have chosen to move forward in your practice, and you not only want to continue to use this on yourself and other people, but you want to show people how to do Reiki. So what you're going to be learning, again, you get attunements each time. And in this time, you not only get an attunement, but you will be learning how to do the attunements. So you will get symbols, again, sacred symbols. Again, and symbols have absolutely no power unless you know what they mean. Again, these are just kind of like tools, right? So you will learn the symbols of the attunements, how to attune somebody, right? And these symbols also carry with them the spiritual healing qualities. So in Reiki 1, we learned how to physically work with somebody's energy, their physical body. In Reiki 2, we learned how to do a mental and emotional healing for their body. And in Reiki 3, we are learning how to do spiritual healing with their body, right? And so I really feel like it's important, if you really do want to get to that top level of helping other people in this way, that you take all 3 classes, whether you intend to teach Reiki or not, because it does have that spiritual aspect. And I think it is very important to focus on mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual as equals. But again, this is all preference. Somebody may take it one class and just be like, not for me, right? So in the Reiki level 3, that is essentially what you'll be learning, is how to actually pass this information, wisdom, and ancient work on with somebody else. Now, a couple of really cool things that I'd like to also share with you is that you all have guides, right? You all have spirit guides. Typically, you have at least one that is very present and strong with you the whole time. You also have angels. You also have light body beings. You have past loved ones, right? This is why I call the people that I work with my team of light, right? But when you, the very first day you take your Reiki 1 class, you already have the ancient Reiki masters that have come before you for 2,500 years. They stand with you. They stand with you when you are taking the class. They stand with you when you are doing energy work for someone else. So one thing that I love to point out is that you are never alone. And if you forget a symbol, if you forget the steps, if you whatever, they are there to help guide you, so that the intention is always to help somebody. The intention is always to heal, and they know that. And so they will be there to guide you every step of the way. And if you are sensitive, if you are a little clairvoyant, you can eventually get to know them a little bit, and it is really, really beautiful to share and stand, with them when you're doing these types of energy healings and practices. Now, one other thing I like to point out is I love working with my team of light. So not only do I have my you know, ascended Reiki masters for centuries standing with me. I also ask for my guides, my angels. I love working with angels, right? So I ask for all of them to be there as well. And of course you can too. This is again one of my preferences, but this is kind of how you can kind of tweak it to make it your own a little bit. But the bottom line is it's always, always, always about healing. So I hope I answered questions for you guys. I hope I got you interested in maybe taking a Reiki class or maybe receiving energy work or Reiki. Again, it is all about healing. It's not tied or has no connection to any specific religion. I really think of energy work as just basic physics, honestly. So you can tie it into that if you do have those preferences, just how I shared with you. So how I use some of my preferences in with my Reiki sessions and teachings. So get out there and go try Reiki. You're welcome to come and receive Reiki from me in person or from a distance. There are so many Reiki masters and Reiki practitioners and teachers out there, you know, that are so ready and willing to educate you. So I hope that this explained things. I hope this got you excited. It's one of my most favorite things to do. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. And as always, love and light, my friends.